How's it going, everybody? My name's Brian. Welcome to Life on the Chesapeake. My wife and I live on a 45-acre farm here in Maryland, and we moved out here to pursue a different kind of life, a slow life, and to raise our children out in the country, away from a lot of the hustle and bustle. A little background: before we got married, I lived in a small little waterfront Chesapeake town on the Chesapeake, and I had a fishing boat, and I would fish on the weekends. My wife lived on a little small waterfront town on the Chesapeake. She had a kayak. She would be out on the water, and we worked during the week, and on the weekends we'd go out and explore and experience everything the Chesapeake has to offer. But we were looking for a little bit something different to raise a family when we got married, so we moved out here to the farm. And ever since then, we've had a little bit of a hole, a little bit of a void that's been missing. We've not been able to experience all the things that the Chesapeake had to offer and all the things that we loved back in the day, because if any of you are aware of a farm, I mean, it obviously takes a lot of time and a lot of money. We were not naive to the fact that it wasn't going to be work. We're both hard workers. So we are not, ignorant to the fact that we were going to come out here and work we did. We've enjoyed our time while we were here on the farm, but obviously, again, there was a void. There was something that was missing. And we've looked back and realized that there's just something about the Chesapeake Bay and all the activities and opportunities that we just haven't been able to really capitalize on, because we've been spending so much time working to maintain and to save this farm and to constantly make sure that things are kept up and maintained, and that we can pay for it. And we finally just got tired of doing that and missing out on so many other things that we could do, and letting our kids experience all these other things that we've grown and to love and enjoy over the years. So we sat down one day and just got frustrated and said, what are we doing? We're just working here and not being able to do some of the things that we long for. Never been able to afford the boat, or to be able to go out and do some of the traveling and the experience, the dining, the festivals, the events. So we finally just had to make the decision that we're done. We're done on the farm. We're going to go back and experience life. And so I quit my job, and we're selling the farm, and we're selling everything, all of the equipment, all of the stuff. When you have a big house and a big piece of property, and we've been here for over 13 years, you accumulate a lot of stuff, not only from yourself and your businesses, but from grandparents who have moved on. And you tend to store things and gather things and hold on to things because A, you've got the room and the place to store it. And then B, on a farm, you just never know when you're going to need something, or you need to turn something into something. You can improvise and create things out of other things. So you tend to collect a lot of stuff, and we're selling it all. We're moving into a tiny home in a little small waterfront town on the Chesapeake, where we're going to pursue life on the Chesapeake. We're going to recreate memories, or create memories. We're going to experience all the things that the great Chesapeake Bay has to offer. And we want you to come along with us. We're going to show you all the things that we want to do, from boating to fishing to crabbing to eating out to going to festivals and events. We're going to go and partner and find the best businesses that can help create a lifestyle that you can enjoy on the Chesapeake too. And we're going to pursue that. We're excited. We're super excited about it. We're also very nervous. This is a big change. There's going to be a lot of work. We've got a 45-acre farm with everything that goes with it to not only sell, but also to move out of. And we're downsizing to a 565 square foot tiny home, and we got to get rid of everything. So come along this journey with us. We're super excited. We'll show you how we're going to do it, and we're going to show you a lot of amazing things along the way that you can turn around and turn your life into the Chesapeake, where you can enjoy it, whether or not you live here, whether or not you're thinking of moving here or you just want to travel here. So we're excited, looking forward to it. Thanks, come along. So now the real work begins. We have got to get out of this farm, which means we've got a lot of stuff to get rid of. As I've said before, you accumulate an enormous amount of equipment, stuff, dare I even say junk, in hopes that maybe you'll use it someday, maybe you'll be able to repurpose it into something. And now you look around and you say, wow, where did we get all the stuff? You know, we had gardens and farming and, well, you probably haven't even seen the greenhouse. You've seen the greenhouse. But we filled it up with stuff. We've had eBay businesses where we've, you know, sold parts. So we have lots of vehicles and equipment that we've taken parts off of that now we've got to get rid of. Things that haven't sold that either got to go to scrap or get donated. So you could tell we got a lot of work to do. So let's go. We'll get it done. We'll get out of here and we'll start living life on the Chesapeake. All right, well, we're headed off to the dump this morning. So obviously one of the things about moving is you got to go through a lot of stuff, especially stuff that you've accumulated over the years. But particularly when you're downsizing the way we are, we're moving from a big house and a big property down to what really is defined as a tiny house in a small community with no land or no lot. You've got to get rid of stuff, and that is a combination of selling, giving away, donating, and unfortunately throwing away or taking stuff to the dump. So this is one of many trips that we are taking to the dump. As I said before, over the years we've just accumulated a lot of stuff. There's been a scarcity mindset, like, hey, we got to keep this stuff because we may need it. When you're on a farm, you keep every piece of metal, container, because a lot of those things come in handy. You can use them we used to keep kitty litter boxes because we would cut them open and turn them into nesting boxes for our chickens. If you found square steel or scrap metal, you keep that stuff because you accumulate it and take it to scrap to get paid for money, or in some cases it's like, hey, we could fabricate a part or something, or weld something together and fix something. So you just kept everything, and we have accumulated. But now we are unloading, we're dumping, we can't bring it with us. And whoever buys this farm is certainly not going to want it around to go through it themselves. So this is part of the process. And again, we're going to take you along this journey so you can see it. We encourage people to consider whether or not they want to reconfigure their life, rebuild their life, downsize, and start to enjoy life a little bit more, to be honest with you. Because there's only there's a finite amount of time. There's only so much time left, and you can either choose to try to control it yourself or have external factors control it for you, and then look back and realize it's gone. I mean, that's going to happen anyway, but it's how you fill those gaps. So anyway, later the wife and I are headed over to the new house, which has been vacated, and we are going to start moving a few things over to the storage unit and start taking measurements, determining what we need to do to start preparing to have us start moving in. So we'll take you along for that ride. In the meantime, I'm just gonna head to the dump and start dumping. See ya.